Every man you've ever been with has a completely different story running in his mind while he's touching you. Pause and think about that for a moment. The same kiss, the same bed, the same position, yet inside his head, a totally different movie is playing. With one guy, he's worried he's doing it wrong. With another, he's trying to impress you like he's being judged. And in the rarest cases, he's actually fully present, body and soul, as if the world outside that room doesn't exist. Here's the thing no one tells you. The woman who lingers in his memory isn't always the most experienced or the most skilled. She's the one who noticed what story he was telling himself and quietly helped rewrite it with him. That's where your real influence lies, more than you probably realize. Tonight, we're going to approach intimacy like a language, not a performance. Most people only speak with the body. A few know how to speak with body and emotion, but there's a third level almost no one talks about, the level where you communicate directly with his pride, his fears, his fantasies, his desire to feel chosen, all while your touch is happening. That's the level where men walk away years later thinking, why can't I forget her? And before you think, that sounds complicated, hear me out. It's not about doing more. It's about doing less with your body, but more with your intention. It's about noticing which tiny moments count and which moments he forgets 5 minutes later. Honestly, I think most of us underestimate how sensitive men really are here. We're taught they're simple, that all they want is the physical act, end of story. But if you listen, if you get them to be honest, what surfaces is insecurity, pressure, confusion, ego, tenderness, a whole mix of things they can't put into words. And guess who decides whether that mess turns into distance or devotion? You do. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you a set of switches in his mind. Not lines to memorize, not scripts. Think of them as little levers that quietly change the story he's telling himself while he's with you. You use them gently, almost without him noticing, and suddenly he's not wondering if you're bored. He's not hiding the things he wants. He's not bracing for criticism. He's relaxing because he feels chosen, admired, safe, and excited all at once. It sounds big, but often, the moments that change everything are small. The way you look at him as he undresses, the single sentence you whisper at the right second, the playful way you bring up something he loves instead of treating it like a taboo. Those details either switch him on or shut him down without you realizing it. Ask yourself, honestly, when was the last time you asked a man what makes him feel desired, not just what feels good physically? When did you ask what makes him proud of himself in the bedroom? Most women have never asked that in their lives, and it's not your fault. No one modeled it for you. You were taught how to avoid being too much, not how to create connection on purpose. Here's the beautiful truth. You don't have to become some ultra-confident seductress who knows exactly what to say and do. You only need to be a little more curious, a little more playful, a little braver than the average woman he's been with. That alone already puts you in a different category in his mind. There's one mindset shift under everything we're doing. Miss it, and the techniques feel fake or awkward. Get it, and they feel natural, even fun. This shift turns you from performing for him into creating with him. It's the difference between silently hoping he reads your mind and confidently guiding the experience without killing the mood. In a moment, I'll walk you through it step by step, and you'll probably realize you've been doing the opposite without noticing. But first, imagine this with me. You're standing in front of him, alone, the light soft and low. He's close enough that you feel the warmth of his breath, close enough that one small move could change the night entirely. But instead of rushing, there's a quiet pause, a charged stillness. In that stillness, something important happens. He waits for you, not because he's unsure, but because the story in his head hasn't been written yet. And he's silently asking which version of him you want to bring out. Most women don't notice this. They think it's just a beat, just a breath, an awkward second. But that pause is where intimacy begins. It's when he's silently wondering, Am I enough? Is she excited? Is she judging me? No man says it out loud, but every man feels it, and this is where the shift becomes real. Instead of moving with the thought, I hope he likes this, you move with, we're creating this together. You stop performing and become a co-author of the experience. Men notice this immediately. It relaxes them, excites them, and draws them in, making them participate instead of perform. What triggers this shift? Tiny choices. You don't need to say anything dramatic. Sometimes it's just how you look at him. Steady, curious, unhurried. Sometimes it's how you touch a collar, as if exploring, not rushing. Sometimes it's a simple whisper, nothing polished, just real. That little gesture tells him, I'm not judging, I'm enjoying you. Men respond instantly. They unfold, reveal, and stop trying to be who they think they should be. They start being who they really are when they feel safe and wanted. Once he crosses that threshold, he opens the parts he usually hides. Preferences, vulnerabilities, things he's afraid to ask for, fantasies he's never voiced. You get the version of him no one else sees. That's exactly what makes you unforgettable. Here's what most people misunderstand. Co-creation doesn't mean taking control. It means shaping the energy between you in small, intentional ways. If he's anxious, you slow the pace. If he's eager, you meet him halfway. If he's hesitant, you soften the moment with a smile, a glance, or a gentle word that pulls him back toward connection instead of pushing him into doubt. You're not controlling him. You're tuning to him the way a musician tunes an instrument, lightly, naturally, without pressure. And the amazing part is, the better you get at this, the more he rises to meet you. Men respond to women who make them feel capable without testing them. They respond to women who invite instead of demand, who explore instead of judge, who guide softly instead of forcefully. That's when he starts doing things for you, things he's never done for anyone else, not because you asked, but because he feels inspired to. There's a moment when this rhythm clicks into place, and you'll feel it instantly. It's when he stops watching your reactions and starts focusing on your pleasure. His hands become more deliberate, his gaze softens or darkens, his breath changes, his confidence grows. Not the forced kind, but the kind that comes from feeling desired in a way he didn't anticipate. And when that happens, the whole night transforms. But to reach that level, there's one inner switch you have to flip, one that changes how you see desire itself. It's the shift from thinking, I hope this goes well, to something far more potent. It's the moment you stop treating desire as something that happens to you and start treating it as something you actively participate in, shape, and guide. Most women have been trained to think of desire as reactive. He initiates, he leads, he sparks the moment, and you respond. But relying solely on his energy to set the tone means giving away half your power without realizing it. Real desire, the kind that melts him, grounds you, and fuses you together, comes from intention, not reaction. It comes from a quiet internal decision. I am allowed to want. I am allowed to enjoy. I am allowed to shape this moment too. When that switch flips, everything changes. Your touch shifts, your breathing deepens, your presence grows stronger. Without saying a word, he senses it. Men are incredibly sensitive to a woman's internal permission. When you hold back, he senses hesitation, even if he can't put it into words. When you feel self-conscious, he feels the distance. But when you give yourself permission to truly want, your energy becomes heavier, warmer, richer. It pulls him in like gravity. You stop asking, am I doing this right? And start asking, what do I want to feel with him right now? That question brings you into your body, into the moment, rather than into fear. Here's the irony. The moment you stop trying to perform, he starts performing better. The moment you stop worrying about whether you're attractive, he finds you more magnetic. The moment you stop shrinking yourself to avoid awkwardness, the The connection becomes smoother, deeper, and more natural. Desire grows when you stop managing it and start participating in it. Now let's turn that mindset into something practical, something you can use the next time you're with him. There's a technique I want to share. It's not a move, not a trick. It's a subtle psychological shift disguised as a moment. I call it meeting him at the doorway. Every intimate moment has a doorway, the moment just before things turn physical. It could be when he leans in to kiss you, when his hand grazes your waist, when you're sitting close and the air grows warmer. That doorway is where insecurity hides. It's where he wonders if he should pull back or push forward, where you wonder if he's reading your signals right. Both of you are guessing, but when you meet him at the doorway, you remove the guesswork. You don't take over, you just close the gap slightly. A soft breath against his cheek as he leans in, a hand sliding lightly along his chest when he touches your waist, a murmured, "Come here," when he hesitates. Tiny, deliberate signals that say, "I'm here with you, I want this too." This works because it immediately removes his fear of misreading you or going too far. Instead of navigating uncertainty, he's navigating invitation. And men respond to invitation with confidence. They step in, rise, and give more of themselves because the risk of messing up disappears. This creates a loop. Your subtle signals boost his confidence. His confidence fuels your desire. Your desire sharpens his focus. His focus heightens your pleasure. Suddenly, you're not two people trying to sync up. You're already moving together as one current, instead of two separate attempts. But this doorway moment is just the start. Once he feels your presence meeting his, you can unfold another layer, one that deepens the entire experience and gives him something he didn't even know he wanted. It's the layer that turns physical touch into emotional imprint, the layer that makes the night not just remembered, but replayed. And it starts with a single choice you make in the next breath. The choice to slow the moment just enough for him to feel you, not just touch you. Most people rush past this without noticing. Clothes come off, hands move faster, breathing grows louder. The whole experience becomes a blur, instinctive instead of memorable. But desire grows when you interrupt that rush. When you create a pocket of stillness in the momentum, that pocket is where imprinting happens. Here's what it looks like. He's kissing you, his hands exploring. Instead of letting it speed up on autopilot, you place a hand on his jaw, his neck, or the back of his head, somewhere deliberate, and you hold him there just a moment longer than expected, not stopping him, not redirecting, just holding him in the moment with you. Your touch says, "Stay here, I want this part, I feel you." Men aren't used to being held in this kind of presence. They're used to physical encouragement, but not emotional anchoring. When you do this, it hits the core of his ego. "I see you, I choose you, you matter in this moment." It bypasses his logic and settles in his memory. It changes how he touches you next, because now he's not just trying to turn you on, he's trying to meet you. Then there's breathing. Most women underestimate how powerful breath alone can be. When you slow and deepen it, letting it move through your body instead of just your chest, he feels the change immediately. Your breath becomes a cue, a rhythm, an invitation. It says without words, "I'm not racing, I'm savoring this moment." Men respond to that presence like fuel. It pulls him out of his head and into his body. It makes him want to match your rhythm instead of rushing ahead. But this is where the imprint becomes unforgettable. You give him one moment, one line, one sound, one touch that becomes his memory. Something he associates uniquely with you. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be real. Maybe it's a soft, unfiltered sound you make close to his ear. Maybe it's the way you gently hold his wrist and guide his hand for just a second. Maybe it's a whispered admission like "I love it when you touch me," a line said in a tone that resonates more than it speaks. What matters is that it's genuine, not performed, not exaggerated, truly honest. Men sense the difference instantly. Real desire etches itself into memory in a way technique never can, and once you give him that one imprint, something shifts. He begins looking for it again. He starts anticipating it, tuning to you, noticing the smallest cues about what you like, what you want. This is how emotional connection slips in quietly, not through long talks or labels, but through the experience of being wanted with clarity and tenderness at the same time. There's a deeper layer to imprinting, one that touches not just his body or his ego, but the part of him that is rarely seen. It's the layer that makes him open up instead of closing off, the layer that transforms chemistry into attachment. And it only takes a small shift from you to unlock it. When you're ready, I'll guide you there. It happens in the moment you stop trying to impress and start letting yourself be moved. That's the part he doesn't get from the outside world. Out there, he's expected to perform, to predict, to provide, to keep it all together. But in intimacy, what he craves more than most realize is the chance to drop the armor without losing attraction. And you trigger that by moving from "I'm here to be desirable" to "I'm here to feel this with you." Watch what happens inside him when you make that shift. His whole body adjusts, his breathing changes, his hands slow down, his mind stops overthinking. He starts noticing the subtle things he normally misses. The way your body leans into his, the way your fingers curl when something feels good, the way your lips soften as you give yourself to the moment. Men pick up on that with a focus that surprises even them. They just don't often get the chance. Here's the truth. No one tells you that a man can only reach that state if you let yourself be in it first. He mirrors your emotional openness. If you're guarded, he stays on the surface. If you're tense, he performs. But if you allow your body to speak instead of your self-consciousness, he follows that instinct like it's a map. Men are starved for this kind of connection, yet they rarely ask for it directly, because asking makes them feel vulnerable. They wait for a woman who can feel the shift before they even say it. So let's talk about creating that shift on purpose, not leaving it to chance. There's a simple pattern: soften, receive, respond. That's it. Not submissively, not passively, but in presence. Softening means letting tension leave your shoulders, jaw, stomach. You let your body show safety. You stop holding everything tight as if you're being judged. When you soften, you give him permission to drop the performance. You create a space where his masculinity doesn't have to prove itself. It can simply exist. Receiving means letting his touch land, not letting your mind run ahead, not planning what comes next, or worrying if you look right, just feeling what's actually happening. Most men have never experienced being touched by a woman who is fully present in the moment, and when they finally do, it hits them like a wave. It unlocks a part of them that's more intuitive, more generous, more tuned in. Responding is the last layer, the one that completes it. It's not about dramatic sounds or exaggerated gestures. It's about honest, tiny reactions. The breath you let out when something feels right, the slight shift of your hips, the way your hand moves toward him instead of staying neutral. When these reactions are genuine, they create the emotional feedback loop he's been craving. Suddenly, he's not guessing, he's connecting. This is when a man starts to open emotionally without you needing to ask. It won't look like a movie scene. It's subtle. He'll touch you differently, slower or deeper. He'll linger in his gaze between kisses. He'll say your name like he's rediscovering you. These are the signs that intimacy has moved from just physical to deeply psychological. And once you reach that space, there's another layer to explore, one very few women know about. It's the layer where he not only feels desired, but also feels understood, where the experience shifts from being about a single moment to becoming about the bond. This is where attachment forms, where devotion grows, and it all starts with a truth most overlook. Men don't bond through words, They bond through emotional safety within desire. If you can give him that, if you can be the space where his desire and his vulnerability coexist, he will never forget you. He will never confuse you with anyone else. And the way to create that begins with one final shift. The shift that turns intimacy into something that lingers inside him long after the night is over.